All right, so here's what I want to do, man. I want to give y'all these 5 stock market essentials. I want to give you these 5 stock market essentials. Watch this. Watch this. 1, diversification. Right? So what this simply means is, are we able to balance out our asset classes? And because we're talking about stocks, we're talking about now in each asset in all 11 sectors. So here's why this is important. Remember, I showed y'all the recession portfolio. And I told you what's driving that portfolio is energy. So I have other sectors inside of there, but energy is the heavy asset class there. Now, as the market shifts, I may have to rebalance my portfolio. So being able to diversify is 1. 2, strategy. We gotta have a strategy. Listen, we cannot freestyle our way to wealth. We cannot freestyle our way to wealth. We must have a strategy. So when I built the recession portfolio, I had a strategy. I didn't just jump in the game, okay, let me make this make sense. If I'm going to somebody else's hood and hustle, I have to create a strategy. So I gotta know who the hustlers are. I gotta know who the hustlers are. I gotta know who the robbers are. I gotta know who the jackers are. I gotta know who moves like what. I gotta know who the big dogs are. And because once I gather that data, now I know how to maneuver. I can now put a strategy together, right? So let's put that strategy together, right? The next thing is researching. Once we see the players on the field, once we see who all on the field, now we say, okay, this what he do. This what she do. They click up. They don't like them. The research marries the strategy, right? The research marries the strategy, okay? Number 4, style. What type of investor are you? Are you long-term? If you're long-term, what type of long? Do you want cash flow? Would you divorce cash flow investing for growth, right? Do you want to take some risk off the table from the growth and say, okay, I'll take the risk off for cash flow, right? So understanding that, and then the process, putting it all together, putting the diversification, putting the strategy, putting the research, putting the style, and now we can execute. The process is being able to put it all together. The one thing that hurts a lot of people is they don't trust the process. Okay, let me make this, let me paint that picture for you again. You take the course, you take the mentorship, you do all the work, but when it's time to execute, you don't trust the information. But it's deeper rooted. There's a trauma there. Watch this. There's a trauma there because you don't truly trust something in you. The process. You don't trust the process because you don't trust you. And so let's go back to the beginning. Each and every Tuesday when you come here, our goal is to do what? Cultivate that profitable investing landscape within you. So when your cup run empty by Monday, Tuesday, you getting a refill. You come back Tuesday to get the refill. So what? So you can trust the information, so you can believe in the process, so that you can dig deep within yourself to execute. Hold on. That's what that is. I'ma keep running 'cause the Lord is. That's what that is. That's what that is. Hold up. Shut up. All right, man, let's go, man. Let's move forward. So those are 5 stock market essentials I wanted to give y'all, man. So we looked at it today. Man, the market is in greed, right? The market is in greed. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. When the market is pushing toward greed, I know there's nothing for me to buy. When the market is pushing toward greed, I know that there is nothing for me to buy. Nothing at all. It's nothing for me to do in that situation. It's nothing for me to do in that situation. So all we can do is we can use that fear and greed index and marry it with the put-call ratio so we can see exactly where we at, man. Let's go, man. All right, man. So one of the things I want to show us was, as we look at the market and as we start to see it's pushing green or it's pushing red, one of the things I wanted us to look at was companies with high cash flow, right? This is important. Companies with high cash flow, right? Cash flow from operations. I wanted us to see that. So we're looking at Apple, 107 billion in cash flow. We're looking at Google, 82 billion in cash flow. We're looking at Microsoft, 68 billion in cash flow. We're looking at ExxonMobil, 38 billion in cash flow. Watch this. Let's even go to Facebook with 28 billion in cash flow. Now, here's why I wanted to show you this. Even when we look at stocks and we see that a company's stock is down, I want you to understand that that company is a living, breathing mechanism that's still pumping cash flow. Right? Even if the company is down, even if the stock is down, I want us to understand something. The stock represents how people feel on the market. People feel a certain way based on temperament, based on facts, and then based on emotions. Apple stock may be down, but the company still has $107 billion in cash flow coming in. So what does that mean? Even if the stock down, if the company still has high cash flow and high free cash flow, then that means it's just going through a hard time. That just means there are certain parameters around the stock that we got to understand. Okay, we in a lesson right now. Even if the stock is down, if we go see that the company has a great balance sheet and we see the company has large free cash flow and operational cash flow, meaning the money that's coming through the business, right? I mean, the money is coming in through the business, then we don't necessarily have to panic. We just got to figure out at what point is the evaluation on the worth of the business worth us buying it at. Golly, we teaching already. Right? So I needed you to understand this because a lot of people look at the stock price. The stock price is the last thing we look at. A lot of people look at the stock price and say, I don't want to invest in that company. But yet the company may be one of the top 10 companies in the world with free cash flow and operational cash flow. Don't worry about the stock being down right now because now it goes back to the first part we talked about what? The process. Trust in the process. Gathering the information, laying out the data and saying, here's what we're doing. All right, let's go. Okay, Q1, Q2. Let's also look at this. Companies that paid out the most dividends in Q1 and Q2. Microsoft, $9 billion in dividends. Apple, $7 billion in dividends. JP Morgan Chase, $5 billion in dividends. Procter & Gamble, $4 billion in dividends. Coca-Cola, $3.8 billion in dividends. Now, here's the thing. Companies that can consistently pay us dividends without taking on debt. Ooh, this is good. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. I like when a light bulb go off in my head, right? Right? Watch this. You can use this. If you go back to the other slide, Dave, go back one time for me. Boom. If you go to this slide and say, okay, these companies have high cash flow and high free cash flow. Now go to the next slide, Dave. Boom. And the company can pay out a high dividend. That means that company got a strong balance sheet. Golly. I want you to sit down in your head right quick. If the company has high free cash flow, high operational cash flow, and they're on the list for paying out big dividends, that may be what you call a prospect. That may be a prospect. Because you know why? That's telling us that during the pandemic, during the recession, this company still has living, breathing people that's walking through the doors, that's online. Let me buy. Operational cash flow is big. Free cash flow is growing. Dividends are, we're talking about Q1 and Q2. I ain't even get the Q3 numbers yet. We're talking about Q1 and Q2, $9 billion in dividends, $7 billion in dividends, $5 billion in dividends, $4 billion in dividends, $3 billion in dividends, $2 billion in dividends, $1 billion in dividends, 0.7 or 700 and something million in dividends in 2 quarters. I'm showing you how to prospect. Gee, did I just not show them how to prospect? Hey, each and every week when you come to Trappin Tuesday, I'm trying to tell you, nobody ain't gonna teach you like this. This is a master class. I'm showing you how to prospect. All right, check this out. Here's something I saw. I want you to understand this. So I'm not the biopharmaceutical person. I'm not that person. But here's what I've learned. And here's what I've seen. As I've been doing my research, because I just be researching, I saw that these 4 stocks are doing numbers on the low. I'm plotting on the low, scheming on the low, working on the low, smoking on the low. I just be rocking on the low, scheming on the low. You remember that old Drake song? But check this out. Gilead, Amgen, Biogen, Vertex, these companies are punishing the S&P 500 right now. These 4 companies are quietly killing the market, and here's one of the reasons why. Low expectations, they under the radar, it's just not came back. And they're consistently adding products to the pipeline. Now, if you're in Trappers Anonymous, I was supposed to do a ticker symbol Tuesday today. I'm going to re-up on you tomorrow. I'm going to give you a ticker symbol Tuesday in the morning because I broke down one of these companies. I said, ooh, you know that Lil Wayne thing? Ooh, John, you saw that meme before when Wayne do that? Ooh, ooh. Hey, I saw that thing. I said, ooh, this thing is good. I said, ooh, ooh. Ooh. I said, this thing is good. So tomorrow morning, Trappers, if you're in Trappers Anonymous, I got one of these for you that I'm going to break down. And I'm going to tell you, I might be adding it to the recession portfolio. Ooh, ooh. But look, man, these companies are under the radar. They're under the radar. And what I like about them is there's no expectations on them. Right? All the expectations around Disney and Tesla, the big boys, they're running so under the market and so under the radar right now. Look at Vertex up 45%. People are hiding out in biotech and they are hiding out in energy. I just gave you a gem if you will or not. People are hiding out in biotech and they are hiding out in energy. I just gave you a gem just now. Ooh, ooh. Jose, man, I need that. I need that, Jose. That Lil Wayne, ooh, I need that. All right, man, let's go, man. I love y'all, man. All right, so check it, man. So I know we keep going back to streaming, and it's a big deal with what's going on right now. Netflix changed the game again quietly. Quietly. They just changed how we look at streaming companies. Quietly, while rebounding. So remember I said this, when we talked about Netflix, remember I said you can't count out somebody like Reed Hastings. It's the same reason why you really can't count out Mark Zuckerberg. They are brilliant. Now, they will get punched in the face. They will get messed up, but they are brilliant. Watch this. Watch what I'm about to tell you what they did. Here's what they did. Netflix said, listen, because there's so many people that are dropping streaming platforms right now, don't even worry about how many users people have. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Netflix said, don't even worry about how many people are subscribers a streaming company has right now. Go back. They said, pay attention to profitability. Pay attention to what is it costing these other people to get streamers. They said that when they became profitable. So as of right now, Netflix is the only profitable streaming platform. Ooh! Jose, I need that button. Move. I need, something gotta go. One of them Jesus gotta go. I need that. Netflix is the only profitable streaming big dog. Has 223 million subscribers. Now check this out. Disney by itself only has 164, but once it adds Hulu and the other things that it has, it now has 235 million, which surpasses them, right? So it has to add everything else. Now watch this though. Netflix is the only one that is profitable. So when Netflix said that, when Netflix said, look, don't even worry about subscribers. Matter of fact, I'm not worried about subscribers no more. I'm not worried about subscribers. If you're going to judge me on profitability. But if you're going to judge me on profitability, judge everybody else on profitability. And boom, guess what happened? Disney reported earnings. And guess what happened when Disney reported earnings? They reported a $1.5 billion loss. They reported that their streaming losses continues to grow. They reported only $1 billion in free cash flow over the last 12 months. Boom, CEO get fired. Next slide. I say, look at Netflix. He shifted energy. He said, don't judge me on streamers. Here's why. Because people are confusing. Because after they binge watch this. After you binge watch my show, you're going to cancel and go somewhere else. I know that's what y'all be doing too. After you binge watch the show, you're going to cancel and go to Disney. And after you binge watch theirs, you're going to cancel. So y'all shifting. You shifting. You're shifting. You're shifting. Right? And so when he said that, he made everybody say, wait a minute. He might got a point. Let's go look at the profitability. Yeah, Disney, you might have 235, 32 million subscribers. But are you profitable? Yeah, I did lose 1 million subscribers, but that wasn't real subscribers. That was one person with 6 emails. Ooh! Yeah, I did lose 100 million subscribers. A million subscribers. Yeah, I did lose 2 million subscribers, but that was 10 people with 8 emails apiece. You feel me? He said, I really only lost 100,000. Them 100,000 had 10 different emails. So he said, let's check the books. Let's check the books. And man, when we check the books, bing, got you. All right, let's go, man. All right, so now check this out. And here's how Disney got burnt. Here's how Disney got burnt. Once we check the books, yep, Disney, you did gain some more once you add Hulu and everybody else you got. But let's look at the profitability. And here's what we saw. You lost $1 billion in free cash flow over the last 12 months, and you lost $1.5 billion in profits. And your streaming losses are growing. As your streaming losses grow, you also thinking about spending another $9 billion to buy Hulu from Comcast, which now you gotta take, if you buy that, you gotta take on that burden. Disney, oh, you're really profitable. And that is one of the reasons why the boy got fired. And so we asked ourselves this, is Mickey in the mousetrap? So Disney brings back Bob. Now, Bob was a big dog. He ran the company for 15 years. He replaced the dude that was replacing him. The company lost faith in him. Now, watch this. Disney brings him back for 2 years. He's going to make $1 million on a check each year with the possibility with incentives to make $25 million. Now, here's the thing. Now Disney has 2 years to groom somebody who can take over the company. Now they have 2 years to bring in somebody who can run the company for the next 10 years. Does that make sense? Ooh, we trapping, man. Shout out to 1,000 people in the chat, man. Let's go, man. Look, Disney is considering spending $9 billion to buy out Comcast's 33% stake in Hulu. Doing that, they take on the debt, they have the burden of Hulu. With $1 billion in cash flow loss, that may not be the best move for Disney. $1.5 billion in losses up. Now remember, early in the year, they had $630 million in losses. It goes from $630 million to $1.5 billion. Man, you gotta go, fam. You know why, though? Here's why all this is pressure. Because Netflix said this. Don't worry about my subscribers. Let's pull the hood up and check profitability. Ooh! Let's go, man. Let's go, man.